Hi everyone, my name is Jay, and today we're going to be doing an introduction to the ecological sciences. So let's start off with some vocabulary. Ecology is a study of interactions among organisms and their interaction with the non-living parts of their environment. So take for example, a monkey living in a forest. It might climb up a tree, so that's an interaction with another organism. But it also might lift a rock to find a bug, which is another interaction with an organism, but it's also an interaction with a non-living part of that environment since the rock isn't alive. The biosphere is the portion of Earth that can sustain life, so anywhere with life on Earth is part of Earth's biosphere. Biotic means the living parts of the biosphere, such as animals, plants, fungi, and microbes. So anything that's alive falls into the biotic category. So the algae that grows on water is biotic, we are biotic, your dog is biotic, mushrooms are biotic, it's all biotic. And then abiotic is the non-living parts of the biosphere, such as air, soil, water, and temperature. So if it isn't alive, it falls into the abiotic category. Now there's different levels to the biosphere. So the biosphere itself is where all life exists. So let's say, for example, we're going to look at the biosphere of the state of Florida. So there's a lot happening in the state of Florida. There's a lot of insects, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of animals. The biosphere of Florida is massive and all-encompassing. And now we're going to look at a specific ecosystem in Florida, which is the living and non-living parts of an environment. So let's look at a beach. So now we're on a beach in Florida. We're no longer looking at the whole state of Florida, we're only looking at one specific beach, which is an ecosystem. A population is a group of individuals of the same species in an area. So let's think back to the beach. We're now going to be looking at a flock of seagulls. So now we're looking at a flock of seagulls on a specific beach in the state of Florida. And then finally, we have an organism, which is a living thing that lives in the same location and can breed. So what that means is that the individual we're looking at lives in the same area as this population and is probably part of this population. So we're not looking at one specific seagull on the other coast, we're looking at the seagull that's part of this flock that's on this beach in Florida. So for this example, a male seagull. We're looking for one specific animal in one specific flock on one specific area and one specific part of the biosphere. So as you move down the levels of the biosphere, things start to get more specialized and more centralized. We start to be able to break things apart a lot easier and understand how things are interacting with each other and how populations of those individuals are interacting with the ecosystem around them. Next we have biomes. A biome is defined as a large, naturally occurring community of flora and fauna occupying a major habitat. So that just means it's a large community of animals and plants that typically occur in one habitat. So the two major biomes are aquatic and terrestrial. Aquatic is further broken up into marine and freshwater. So terrestrial is defined as biomes based on land. So that would be a desert. That would be the sand on the beach. It would be a forest. Those are all terrestrial. Aquatic are biomes based in water. So coral reefs and the deep sea. And then aquatic is further broken up into marine, which is bodies of seawater with more than 1% salt. And this includes estuaries. And if you're not sure what an estuary is, it's where salt water meets fresh water. So typically as a river runs out to sea, the water will begin to combine and salt water and fresh water will meet and kind of become a murky in between of fresh water and salt water. And then fresh water, which is bodies of water with less than 1% of salt. So here I have a picture, very typical of Florida. We see the alligator right here. He's living his best life in this pond, but I want you to stop the video and label everything that you can think of that is part of abiotic or biotic, what the actual biome of this is, and really think outside the box of what is included in this picture. And pause the video and then I'll go over it and you can see and compare and contrast what you have on your list versus what I have on my list. Okay, so first off, we know that this is freshwater because there's an alligator here and they swim in freshwater. So this is part of the aquatic biome. So we're doing aquatic freshwater biome. I see this alligator, which is part of the biotic side of the biosphere. I see water, which is abiotic. I see grass, which is biotic. But I'm pretty sure that grass is growing on soil, which is abiotic. There's algae in this water, you can tell by the slight green tint, which is biotic. There's probably fish in here too, which is biotic. I'm going to assume that somewhere, be it in the water or on the coastline, there's probably a rock somewhere, which is abiotic. And then looking back at the levels of the biosphere, we know that the alligator is one individual, so a single organism. And I don't see any other alligators in this picture, so I can assume that he might be the only one, so he would make up the complete population. So if we were studying him, we would study how he interacts with everything I listed in this picture. So he might eat the fish, he swims in the water, the fish are going to eat the algae. So the more fish he eats, the less fish there are to eat algae. The fish might also feast on the grass, and as grass is eaten, that causes soil erosion. Rocks might be tipped over to look for nice snacks. Again, that's some fish doing that. And then this is still aquatic freshwater where all these individuals are interacting with one another. So the next time you're outside, really take a look around and try and understand how you interact with the world around you and how the world around you interacts with the biosphere.